guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. We're back here in the original parking spot location, and guess what? I have that compact German sedan that has a few changes for 2022. This is it. This is a new Volkswagen Jetta. But before we get into this updated, changed up compact sedan, let's talk about what's going on here. The Volkswagen Jetta. Most people, when they hear Volkswagen, they think of the Beetle. And obviously, VW goes all the way back to the mid-1930s, the people's car. And you know what? With a little bit of farfignugan over the decades, they really have been able to create a unique experience when it comes to the cars that they produce. Now, Beetle has gone away. Obviously, we still got the Golf GTI and the Golf R, but another standout in their segment that's not an SUV is the Jetta. Now, we've already brought to you the refreshed Jetta GLI, and we talked about how that is a good comparison and good competition to the Honda Civic SI. Well, this is your standard Volkswagen Jetta. So of course, what I want to do is I want to compare this Jetta to the all-new, totally redesigned 11th gen Honda Civic. So let's go ahead, let's dive into our four-door sedan and find out, has Volkswagen done enough, or should they have done a redesign to compete with the new Civic? Let's get into our Jetta here and find out. Right off the bat, where are the changes? The changes start at the front. New headlights, new front fascia, and exterior lighting. So one thing I feel like Volkswagen has always done a great job with is the style of their headlight housing. Everything on the inside, except for a little bit of chrome, the rest is gloss black. You're gonna have your LED daytime running lamp. The big zonk is they decided to go regular old-fashioned Thomas Edison light bulb setup in there for the turn signals. They should have went LED. One thing that definitely, besides the headlights, is a standout is the lower section. So we have some new LED exterior lighting. And then what they decided to do was keep this area flat black. I wish that they would have made a little bit of this area functional. It does have a seamless flow with the rest of the front of the vehicle, but just having some black plastic here, I don't know, it's just not doing it for me. But as we come across that front grille, of course we got that VW badge, so much history over the years. You're gonna have your clean, horizontal, a little bit of chrome, just a tad of like a satin black, a little bit more chrome, and then on the bottom portion, all flat black. I do like the way they add this little mini splitter on the bottom portion. But when we look at the new Civic, I feel like the Civic has a little bit more, I don't know, aggressive look in a way without being too over the top. Let me know how you feel about the refreshed front end of this Jetta in that comment section right now. Now, as we get up onto the hood, hood is the same. Very low slung. You have a nice rise in the center. And then one thing with German style, everything's super clean. The lines that you see on a Volkswagen product, it's almost like they got a ruler out and everything is vertical and horizontal, perfectly level. Now, as we come around the bend, of course, if we got a new front end, we got to have some new wheels. What do we got going on here? So you're going to have these machined aluminum with not only gloss black, but also flat black areas. Actually, pretty tasteful wheel, kind of matches up with what's going on with the GLI and of course the GTI. This is a 17-inch wheel. So it would have been nice, I think, to have an extra inch. I know a lot of the guys out there want that extra inch, especially when it comes to wheels, besides other things. But the great news is that it still has that unique Volkswagen style. 205 on the width, 55 series sidewall. Remember, if you want more sport, you gotta go Jetta GLI. Front wheel drive. This is not all wheel drive, but hey, the Civic is front wheel drive as well. If you go Civic, you could get bigger wheels. Now, as we go down the side, you'll notice that this trim is the top SEL. A little bit of chrome, a little bit of gloss black matches the grille. We got color matched on our mirror caps, turn signals built in, and then I am liking the way they just did the shiny bright metal work only on the bottom. I feel like sometimes on certain cars, especially this one, if they did the chrome up top, the shiny metal up top, I feel like it would be a little too heavy. What I really enjoy is that they got that oversized sunroof. So not just your standard, but it's oversized. My one zonk, black out the whole roof. They blacked out the shark fin antenna. Black out the whole roof, please. The Volkswagen, compared to the Civic, Civic has a standard sunroof. This one's a little bit larger. Now, as we kind of sweep around that way, you can see this being a compact sedan. What's the bigger Volkswagen? The Passat. But after 2022, Passat is dead. This they're still making. Let's continue our work down the side. Like I was saying, those nice, crisp body lines wrapping around. Do we have some changes out back? Of course. We got our new font on the, like I said, the Volkswagen badge, but also new font on the Jetta badge. Let me know what you think about it. You like it? You don't like it? LED lighting on the taillights. They always do a great stylish job with those. That's something I like. And then as we kind of work our way down, what do we got? Some chrome to match the chrome up front. What I don't like, I don't know if they're trying to make that look for like an exhaust, but I'd rather this be reshaped and actually have an exhaust. Maybe one tip on each side. The Honda Civic, you can get a nice stainless steel tip. And then there's a little bit of flat black on the lower bumper area, but dying to know what you have to say about it. Let's go ahead, let's open up the hood and see what kind of power we have compared to the Honda Civic. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You have this massive prop rod. Now, the reason why I have an issue with it is because on the Civic, it also has a prop rod, but the prop rod is all the way over to the passenger side, and you got those two little different levels of setting. This is kind of like just big, obnoxious, and in your way. But what do we got? New for 2022, we have some change underneath the hood. We now have a 1.5 liter inline-4 turbocharged engine. Now you might be saying, well, Joe, wasn't last year's a turbocharged engine? You are correct. And there's a turbocharger near the firewall of the back of the engine compartment. Now, you're right. They did have a turbocharged engine. It was a 1.4 liter. So with this 1.5 liter turbo, we're putting out 158 horsepower, 184 pound-feet of torque. If you compare that to last year was 147 horsepower. So we almost have 10 more horsepower. It's made it to an 8-speed automatic, no CVTs. So if you want to compare this to the Honda Civic, if you get the naturally aspirated 2 liter, that has 158 horsepower, but remember the Civic Sport does have a CVT transmission. 0 to 60 in this Jetta is 7.1 seconds. Top speed is 126 miles per hour. The car weighs 3,131 pounds. MPGs, not too shabby. 29 in the city, 40 on the highway. And combined, you're looking at 33 MPGs. So that highway number, 40, that's pretty stupendous. Why don't we go ahead, let's fire up this 1.5 liter turbocharged Ford banger and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside this 2022 Jetta, and right away, first of all, if you've been wondering what Fahrvergnügen means, it means a driving pleasure or a driver's pleasure. That's yet to be determined with this Jetta because we haven't gone on throttle yet. Now, I know what you're saying. Joe, I can't sleep at night. I stay awake and I'm like, I need to get a new car and I want a compact sedan. There's so many of them out there, not just the Civic, not just the Jetta, but then you got all these other ones. What do I do, Joe? Help me. Help me get a good night's sleep. Well, let's talk about this Jetta here. The way that this is optioned, the top SEL trim, you're looking at an MSRP of $29,000. Now, taking that into consideration, that's basically the top price for a Honda Civic Touring trim. Let's see how this Jetta stacks up to the door panels. You're going to get a mixture of materials. We got some gloss black around the switch gear, which if you are bullseye accurate with your finger pushing for locking and unlocking the doors, you shouldn't get fingerprints. There's some kind of like faux wood design to the right of the door handle. I guess it looks okay. Not my favorite. I do like the contrast stitching that they did in the middle. The Armrest they made a little bit softer than last year's, and they added some contrast stitching. Other than that, it's all flat black. Decent size door pocket. You can get 2 slices of dark forest chocolate cake and a nice bottle of Yoo-Hoo to wash it down. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, it continues. There's more of that kind of grayish wood. I don't mind it too much. What I do mind is how the dash comes out at a point right where the passenger's sitting. Now, the reason why they did that was to make it driver focus, but I would like to shave this down. I do like the setup of the dash better in the Civic. Now, what do we got for infotainment? You got an 8-inch system, touchscreen, of course, and what can we do? We can go into car settings here. You can get your different status, which is great. We got our different modes, normal, sport, custom, and eco. Look, there's little leaves that you could collect and show that you love the environment. We're gonna keep it sporty because we got the race track curbing there. Nice size screen, it's cleanly integrated. I throw it into reverse. There's our backup camera. I wish the resolution was just a tad better. But you do get a larger infotainment system, 9-inch in the Civic. Now, working our way down, what do we got? We got ventilated seats, 3 stages. You don't get that in the Civic. I do like that you also have heated seats. So you get heated seats in the Civic, not the ventilated seats. We got dual climate with the blower fan switch, and then you got your dual climate readouts. We got wireless charging. This is going to control the 8-speed automatic. You got a 12-volt socket right there to run a radar detector. A bunch of just dead buttons here. And then our start-stop button is all the way on the other side, along with our mode selector button as well. Nice stitching on the shift boot. 2 cup holders. You got a Slim Jim holder, one of those mini Slim Jims holders. Key fob, it's okay. It gets the job done, just not very sexy, not very contemporary looking either, but you do have the panic button if you're freaking out from anxiety one day. Semi-soft on the armrest, lift it up. I learned a little tip, and I'm gonna share the tip from me to you. Inside here, first of all, you got a USB-C. It's all white. I guess it's white so that you could see things better in it. And basically what you could fit in there is a little magic lamp. So if you have a genie lamp, you could keep it in there and then make your wishes. Do you wish for a Honda Civic? Would that be one of your wishes? I don't know if I'd wish for a Honda Civic. I was thinking maybe Ferrari F40, but that's just me. Seats. I like the leather, nice and soft in the headrest, perforated material. Good looking bolstering, nothing too crazy. It is manual seat controls. Should be power for both, but manual for the passenger. I have 8-way positionable seats over here. We got the Dr. Dre Beats sound system, premium sound system, 9 speakers. Used to be Fender. Fender makes guitars. Beats. I don't know. Tell me what you think about it. Dr. Dre is no longer part of it. He sold it to Apple. So it's Apple Beats. It's like a fruit and a vegetable. We do have that oversized sunroof and a lighter headliner, which kind of brightens things up. But why don't you come over here? I'm going to reel you over. Come on over here because we got a flat bottom steering wheel, not with your name on it, with the Volkswagen name. Come on over. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have your 8-way positionable seat with that lowers lumbar and actually 3 memory settings for the seat. So what that means is you could actually go out and get 2 more friends. One for you, one for your 2 friends, if you want to let them borrow your Jetta. I'm 6 feet tall. Even with the sunroof, I feel pretty good. The seats are comfy. I'll definitely give them that. Steering wheel, not bad. Flat bottom, nice leather. I wish they would have done the contrast stitching on the inside. You got the new updated horn button with the Volkswagen badge. A little bit of silver, a little bit of flat black. It is a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. No paddles to shift through the 8-speed automatic. You could use the shifter. You just can't use, there's no paddles to use. And then you have a 10-inch dash. And what's interesting is, remember, all new for 2022, the Civic has a 10-inch dash when you go touring trim. And then when you go through the different modes, it actually changes. So there's custom, there's eco. I wish it would have went a little bit more green. There's normal, but who the hell wants to be normal? I'm going sport. Red means sport. Red means race. And that's what we're all about. But why don't we go ahead? We got 4 doors. That means you get to share the fun of this Jetta. Let's check out the back seat and see how your passenger is going to feel that you bought a Jetta over a Honda Civic. Let's go check it out. Guys, back seat time. And you know, I'm sitting back here and I'm scratching my head because I got a little bit of an itch. I think some mosquito bit me or something. And I'm kind of liking the amount of headroom back here. I still think the Civic has a little bit more leg room. But let's see what else we got. We got the leather all the way around, no pocket. You got some stitching to stare at, but no pockets if you're sitting behind the driver. We do have 3 stages of heated seats, which are great. But everything else is plastic. Where's my connectivity? Where's, I don't know, a 12 volt, USB-C, USB-A. Heck, I'd be happy with 2 German soup cans and a piece of string to talk to somebody, or maybe some AC vents. I'm just saying, we're now talking 29 G's. I have a pocket over here. I could actually keep an old VW Beetle hubcap, that one that you used to wear around your neck in high school because you thought you were Flava Flay. You could keep that hubcap in there and polish it as you're being driven down the road. Flap that thing down. Armrest, pretty soft. 2 cup holders. I do like the style of the back seat. Like the way they did the stitching and this design. Looks cool. But why don't we go ahead? Obviously, it's not just about the room for your passengers. It's about the room for the rest of your junk that you're going to haul in this thing. Let's check out the trunk so that we could go for a little drive in the Jetta. All right, guys, what kind of junk can we put in the trunk? I think you're going to be surprised, and this really competes well with the Civic. Open up the trunk. Look at the space. Very low cargo floor. Those seats can do the 60-40 Tango split. And then what's great is not only do you have a low cargo floor, you have lots of width with 2 extra nooks for 4 boxes of Twinkies. 2 boxes of German Twinkies on both sides. And then what's really nice is that they actually give you a spare. So great to see them looking out for you just in case something happens. Because remember, they don't call it on purpose, they call it an accident. But you know what? What's not an accident is what we're about to do with this Jetta. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go on throttle and see how it goes. All right, guys, we're in this 2022 Jetta. Some big changes, not only to the exterior, also the inside and underneath the hood. What's great is you got that 8-speed automatic, no CVT, perfect visibility and sight lines in here. And I do like the way you got your different driving modes. It really allows you to have a little bit different experience depending on which mode that you're in. We're obviously in sport mode because we have the gauges red, and I actually have the S right in the center of the tachometer just to give you a little bit better throttle sensitivity, steering sensitivity. But let's see how this thing drives on throttle. Here we go. So nice shifts from the 8-speed, very purposeful, very smooth. It is a little bit buzzy, but you know what? I think that driving the Civic, you're still gonna get that buzzy sensation as well because they're both 4 cylinders. But I do like the way we got a traditional torque converter automatic transmission, but handling is very composed. I think you're gonna get better feedback through the wheel with the Honda Civic, but you're still getting some pretty good communication from what the front end of the vehicle is doing through the tires and through the steering wheel. Visibility out the mirrors is great, especially out the rear view mirror. And I think that the seats are more comfortable in this Jetta compared to the Civic. Going in this right-hand bend, you do get obviously a bunch of tire flex because we got those sidewalls that are 55 series sidewall that's going to flex on you, but it does give you a more cushy kind of ride. Getting to everything is well within reach, and I love the way that this has ventilated seats, especially on a hot Florida day. It's 95 degrees outside and 100% humidity. But inside, pretty quiet, not a bunch of wind noise, definitely not a bunch of road noise. And then I really think they did a great job on getting those MPGs on the highway. 40 MPGs on the highway, which is great. Brake pedal feels good. Coming to a complete stop. Hey guys, let's go ahead and get out on the highway and see how this Jetta cruises down the road. I do like the way the steering wheel feels. Nice leather, good thickness, and very clear visibility on those gauges. And like I said, depending on what mode you go in, if we do normal, everything changes. You got all your safety features, blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist. I'm definitely gonna go back into sport. For me, that's just the way to always go. But going down the highway, very smooth, very composed. Would be nice to have that electric assist on the passenger, because I'm loving it on the driver's side, especially the lower lumbar. But very spacious. I just feel like this is a little dated. It's starting to get a little dated, the dash design and whatnot, especially compared to the new Civic. But we're gonna get back. We need to wrap this one up. Hopefully this has been a good overall review for you. Looking at the Jetta compared to the Civic for the 11th generation of that car compared to the refresh of this one. We're gonna get back and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. Guys, it's been a fun-filled, far-from-Nugan kind of day with this Volkswagen Jetta. I definitely want to thank the whole Volkswagen team for allowing us here at Rady's Rides access to this press fleet vehicle. Let me know what you think. Has Volkswagen done enough to this 2022 Jetta to still compete strongly against the new, all-new Honda Civic, or are you gonna go spend the money on that famous Japanese icon of a sedan? Put your choices in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. Somebody that was one of our subscribers just subscribed, and that's why that horn went off. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. We definitely got to thank Stephen Flood Photography. Check him out on Instagram. Right now he's holding back the laughs. It's quite interesting. He's turning red. Show him some love in that comment section. Thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.